Hey everybody, welcome to 2026. So chances are you've probably heard of dry January. It's where people trying to jumpstart their health goals for the year decide not to drink any alcohol for the entire month of January. Now, if you're someone who doesn't drink at all, this may seem like a very foreign concept. But to people who tend to over-imbibe throughout the year, it's a good way to reset and try to put drinking in its proper perspective. Well, for those of us who have major gas all year, or gear acquisition syndrome, why not apply the idea of dry January to, well, guitars? So I've decided that for the entire month of January, I'm not buying any guitars, or amps, or pedals, or plugins, or, well, you get the idea. I don't know about you watching this, but it's January 9th, 2026, and already, just a week into the new year, my inbox is bombarded daily with deals on guitars and effects pedals and VST plugins, etc. Companies like Fender, Positive Grid, Universal Audio, Adorama, offers from music schools, emails from TrueFire for lessons, Alto Music, the list goes on and on. It used to be that you got through the year, saved some money for holiday gifts, hit the Black Friday sales, maybe a few deals on Christmas Eve, or even the couple days following Christmas, and by January 1st you were done spending money. Well, not anymore. Now, gear and guitar companies want you to constantly be spending money. In the 9 days of this year, I've already received offers from 3 sponsors who wanted me to make videos about their new gear. Microphones, some cheesy air drum kit, and a smart guitar. And you know what I told them? Thanks, but no thanks. As much as I hate to admit it, I'm an influencer, and like it or not, when I promote something, many people will consider buying it. Well, I'm here to tell you, don't. Don't buy a damn thing in January. Here's what's happening. The brands know that many people get Christmas bonuses in December, or money from Aunt Mildred, or you return items that you don't really want, and you have cash just burning a hole in your pocket. But not only do we have cash, we also have debt. Because we spent an assload of money right up to the holiday. We bought gifts and wrapping and gift certificates and gift cards and decorations and food, the list goes on. I just got back from a 2-week vacation. I left December 21st and didn't get back home until late January 2nd. I spent more money than I probably should have. I just paid that credit card bill off, and now I'm kind of burned out on buying stuff. Not to mention I have 10 guitars just sitting here, hanging on the wall. 2 amps, a handful of effects pedals, and miscellaneous gear. What I really should be doing is playing all of it. I should take a guitar off the wall and actually use the damn thing. Maybe I'll find out I really don't like a certain guitar in my collection, then I can decide whether to sell it or not, or trade it in on something different. A dry guitar January gives me the opportunity to reconnect with the gear that I already own. In 2025, I purchased around 23 guitars, not including guitars that were sent to me from sponsors. Overall, in guitars and related gear for this channel in 2025, I spent $25,929.09. From all my sources of revenue for this channel, my 2 YouTube channels, Amazon affiliates, sponsors, and Patreon, I pulled in $25,801.21. That's a shortfall of $127.88. Not bad. I only spent $127.88 and got to play with a ton of gear, and I have 10 new guitars and a handful of pedals and amps. But imagine if I had not spent so much on gear. I may have come out ahead in 2025. Well, that's the goal for 2026. I've decided that I don't need any more guitars. But Jayce, you're a guitar channel. You're supposed to review guitars. Well, I'll still review guitars, but only guitars that sponsors or viewers send me to review. I'm just not going to buy any gear. What I plan to do, however, is review some of the gear that I have and make content that simply discusses guitars, like this one. Did you know that my most profitable and most viewed video to date is the video titled "The Truth About Expensive Guitars That No One Wants to Admit," and that's just me talking. Other than my time, that video didn't cost me a dime. The second reason that I'm not buying any more gear this year, and maybe you should consider it too, is that guitar companies want you to continually keep buying gear. But if you really think about it, the gear that brands will release in 2026 will be the same gear they all released in 2025. Except maybe this year all the new gear will have AI built into it or something like that. Fender will be celebrating its 80th birthday this year, and you know what? Their guitars look the same as they did 80 years ago. If you bought a Fender Stratocaster in 1993, that guitar probably isn't any better or worse than a Stratocaster that rolled off the assembly line 3 weeks ago. At least with products like an iPhone or digital camera, every year you get better picture quality or more storage capacity. Even if the design of the product itself doesn't change, you are getting some incremental upgrade that makes purchasing the latest model worth it. But a Fender Telecaster is one of those products that if Fender changed it too much, fans would pretty much lose their minds and threaten to cancel the company. So Fender and Gibson have to toe the line and keep making the same guitars they've been making for decades. So really it becomes, what's the point of getting new gear? I mean, if you have unlimited funds and buying guitars is what makes you happy in life, then by no means am I saying you shouldn't do what you want to do. But for me, I think maybe it's time to take a break. Of course, I think I said something similar last year and ended up buying more gear anyway. We'll see how long I can hold out. And lastly, I'm not buying any more gear this year because in a couple weeks, I will be moving my studio to a space in my sign shop. My wife and I are self-employed and we have a roughly 1,600 square foot shop. I have a pretty sizable office space in that shop, so I've been preparing it so I can create YouTube content from that studio. The basement studio here in my home is great, but the ceilings are low and the space is long and narrow, so the new space will be more roomy. It will also allow me to create more content. My goal is to see if I can actually turn this YouTube thing into a career and slowly phase out the sign business. But I can't do that if all the revenue I make from the channel goes back into buying more gear. Also, creating content where I work every day will give me the opportunities to make more videos and maybe even start some new channels. My plan is to not buy any new gear at all in 2026. I'm pretty sure not buying anything for the month of January should be a breeze, but we'll see if I can resist the temptation for the rest of the year. So if I'm not reviewing guitars, what will I talk about? Well, I'm planning to learn more about guitar and become a better player. I have a ton of guitar builds that I'd like to start, maybe even release my own guitar brand. That seems to be the thing to do nowadays if you're a guitar YouTuber. And probably get back into recording my own music. Don't worry, guitar will still be the focus of this channel. I'm planning a world tour with a budget guitar, as well as possibly restoring the 1969 Gibson SG that I got late last year. I'm sure that video will probably ruffle some feathers. And I'm sure there will be more sponsored content, although this year I'm going to be much more choosy about the sponsorships that I take on. I'm going to keep it strictly to guitars and maybe multi-effects pedals. I reviewed a bunch of sponsored gear last year that simply didn't land with my viewers. So what do you think? Are you participating in Dry January? How about for guitars? Do you plan on purchasing any guitars or gear in January? What are your gear and guitar purchasing plans for 2026? Let me know in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time.